There's several key people that have left the Sheriff's Department and possibly will be leaving the Sheriff's Department between now and January when they take office. Which, number one, have to reorganize. There's a few key people that I would want to bring into the department with me. Outside of that, I'd want to go through all the commanders all the way down to the sergeant's level and see what their training is, what their skills are, so that they can perform the jobs that's best suited for them. I don't think the structure is exactly where it should be right now. It needs to be changed to make everything flow and work a lot better than what it is now. Once the election's over in November, we'll know who the sheriff's going to be, and I hope I am the sheriff. I would start then making my plans, start reviewing to see what would fit best. Now, there would be a couple key people that I would bring with me, which of course my number two in command. I would want to bring them in from the outside, somebody that has the knowledge and skills to help me in the reorganization of the department. From there down, which, I'm not going in with the intent of firing anybody. I believe that it's a good department, there's good people there. I just think the people need to do their job, and we need to make sure they are best fitted for the job that they're doing. I'm 56 years old. I've been here my entire life. I started with Hart County Sheriff's Department in 1978 and worked with them for 5 years. Then I got out of law enforcement for a little while and then came back to the Gainesville Police Department. A couple of years ago, when they implemented the furlough system, Hall County stopped paying into the employees' retirement system. They have very few benefits right now. That's something that which it's not easy to do, but I've spent the last 12 years on Gainesville's retirement board. A retirement has got to be developed to get back on board, something that's not going to come and go. They need something that's consistent. Now, it should be something where both the county and the employee participates in it. But as of right now, they have nothing other than what the employee pays for themselves. So we need, and it's going to take a little time to get this developed, but it's something that needs to be worked on. One thing, when I'm elected sheriff, I think the furloughs needs to stop immediately. That's something that can be. One thing that's being done now, people are given furloughs, but then other people's brought in paid time and a half to work to fill those hours. So they're spending more money paying overtime than what they would if they just kept the furlough employee there in place. Yeah, so I think it's been within the last 3 years when they implemented the furlough system. That's when they discontinued paying into the retirement system for the employees. Their vehicle fleet, it's aging right now. They're getting to the point, they're actually getting to where they're unsafe. So there is going to have to be some replacement of vehicles, but that should already be figured into the budget for new vehicles coming in. But I've had numerous deputies come and talking to me, and I've observed it myself. When they make a DUI stop, they're calling asking for help for an alka sensor because they just don't have enough of them. Which that's something that, yes, eventually it needs to have one in every patrol vehicle that there is, but you could start the system by just buying enough for this shift. They run 15 districts, so you have roughly 15 to 20 officers working at a time. You could implement purchase those, and they could be checked in and out so that they would be available for everybody on the shift. Eventually, you need to build it up where there is one in every car, because that's a needed tool that everybody needs to help get DUIs off the road, because that's a dangerous situation for my family, your family, everybody's family. We've had too many accidents, and they're all caused by DUI drivers. started 12 years ago on the retirement board with Gainesville, and they had roughly $35 million in their retirement system. Over the 12 years I was there, I've helped manage the fund, and it has grown to where now it's over $65 million. One thing you got to do, which of course you got to start at the top and come down, you got to have a strong chain of command. You can't have breaks in the chain of command. A prime example that's been in the news is the jail commander that was involved in the kicking incident of the Fulton County inmates. It's my understanding, and it came from numerous sources, the officer that was involved with it got multiple days suspension, where the jail commander got 1 day suspension. I mean, that's not fair. The officer was in a moment of rage in which there was nothing right about what he did. He shouldn't have been allowed to be around those prisoners, where he hit them, and they caught it on film, and it was aired in the Times. But the jail commander, he wasn't on the scene. He had to drive in, and then you've got him walking around kicking. I think it was 5 different inmates that it showed him kicking. You know, you can't tell from video the damage that was done, but that's just not the way things should be handled. So, you know, there's a breakdown there. You know, there's no need for that type force. All that there needs to be retraining to correct all these issues here. And whether you're a deputy sheriff sergeant, lieutenant, captain, major, deputy chief, or even the sheriff, you know, you should all be under the same rules. There shouldn't be special favors for some over others. I've personally been on the road and observed these situations. For whatever reasons, they're not working well together. That has got to change. The Hall County Sheriff's Department, which number one deals with Gainesville Police Department, which is probably the largest department. And then you got Oakwood PD, you got Flower Branch PD. And then outside that, you got the Georgia State Patrol, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. We got task force that the FBI is involved with in our gang task force and our drug units. We've got to make these relationships work. You know, I've seen patrol cars or deputy sheriffs ride by where they should have stopped and backed up an officer. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we're all brothers of law enforcement. We all have to be there for each other. It don't matter if you wear a blue uniform, brown uniform, or what. We all have to be there and learn. We've got to learn how to work together to make it work better. I was hired when I was hired with the Sheriff's Department in 1978 as a deputy sheriff, but I did have to fill in the jail. From there, I went to a patrol deputy, and then I became a part of the STEP program, which is Selective Traffic Enforcement Procedures, which the names have changed over the years, but it was just aggressively attacking the traffic situations. From there, I went to investigations, in which I was in investigations when I left the Sheriff's Department. When I came back to Gainesville Police Department, I worked on patrol. Then I went into investigations. I was a school resource officer. From there, I came back out to the road, and when I retired from Gainesville Police Department, I was a supervisory corporal when I left Gainesville Police Department. Yes, I know how the different units within the department works and how to work with them to make them work better. Hopefully we'll win there and won't have to go to the runoff. But if we make from there, the final election will be in November. So we're working to be the candidate in November.